What's up, everybody? It's BadBoyHalo with the Saints of Games, and I am here with Arrow. Wait, what? Herobrine Hunter. Herobrine Hunter. Is this supposed to be Herobrine Hunter? Okay, so he misspelled his name, but that's okay. We are going to answer a very important question today, and that's, does W tapping make you better at PvP? And if so, by how much does it make you better at PvP? And we're going to answer that. We are on Kitpvp.us or munchiemc.com, and we're going to go to the arena warp. Meet me there, Herobrine. Okay, so now what is W tapping? Herobrine, do you have any clue what W tapping is?
You reset your sprint.
No, stop. You're supposed to say no, I don't.
No?
Please tell me what it is.
No, I don't. What is it?
There you go. Good boy. I'll give you a cookie after this. So what is W tapping? That is an important question. Well, in order to understand that, you first have to know what getting knockback or KB is in Minecraft. And pretty much this is what it is. Say I'm standing here. There's different types of KB. There's regular KB, which is I have no inertia. I'm just holding still, or maybe I'm walking. I'll just walk, not run towards him, and I hit. And he gets knocked back about 1 to 2 blocks. 2 blocks right about there. I've got these little signs set up so we can do our analysis. And then there is the W tapping, or there is accelerated knockback. This is accelerated, and this is when you're running, and then I hit. He hits knockback, significantly farther. So 4 or 5, right in the middle there. Now, what W tapping is it is basically hitting somebody with that accelerated knockback multiple times, and you're resetting your running. So see, like for example, if I just hold down W and I don't W tap, so if I hold down W and I run and I hit him twice, it only takes him back about 7 or 8 blocks. Okay, but if I W tap, which means as I'm running, I lift up again after I hit him and then hold down W again, I reset that knockback. So if I do it right, let me go ahead and run forward. It knocks it back significantly farther. Look at that. It took him back 11 and a half, about 11.5 blocks. So he goes back significantly farther with that W tap. So the question is, does this help you in combat? And if so, when should you use it? So we're going to experiment, Herobrine Hunter and I, and we're going to fight and see exactly how big of an advantage W tapping gives you. So throughout the different fights we did and the data I collected, we basically tested 4 different styles of combat. There's default or vanilla, which is just regular Minecraft hitting, doesn't include block hitting or W tapping. We then tested a style that only has W tapping, a style that only has block hitting, and a style that has W tapping and block hitting used together. Now you may be wondering why we're bringing up block hitting, and that's because block hitting has the same effects that W tapping does. You see, when you block your sword, you inadvertently cancel out your sprint, which allows you to get the same type of knockback, the exact same distance as someone who is just W tapping. However, it's not exactly the same as W tapping because you also get the added benefit of when you block your sword, you take less damage, but you also interrupt your forward momentum a bit more than you would if you were W tapping. So it may affect combos and things like that a bit. So now let's challenge again, and this time I'm going to W tap and block hit because it has the same advantage, and you're not going to do it. Okay, you're literally just going to do the PvP thing, no block hitting. Okay, here we go.
Click as fast as I can. I got it.
No W tapping and no block hitting for you. I'm going to be the one who does it all.
As I can. Stop it.
Now one thing I'm noticing is I'm definitely getting the combos on you. Like, it is substantial. The combos I'm getting are absolutely noticeable. Significantly more noticeable. I mean, do you feel like you're getting less hits on me now? I mean, look at that. What even is that? One thing I've noticed is that block hitting, I don't think it's as versatile as W tapping is. Like, the way that I'm noticing is that the advantage there is a bit more, I don't know the words to describe, but it seems like when you block hit just constantly, right?
W tap is more consistent.
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Because when you block, you stop your run, versus when you W and you stop your momentum, you slow it down significantly. Versus when you, so I think they're good for different situations. Like maybe if I'm really close to someone, I might just only block hit, right? But if I'm, trying to get that knockback a bit more, I'll W tap as well. Boom, get wrecked, good fight. Okay, so let's see, how many did I have? You had no soup, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had 6. So significant advantage in that fight. I did a significantly more amount of damage than you did. So that pretty much answers the question that yes, W tapping does in fact give you an advantage. But what gives you the largest advantage? W tapping or block hitting? Now, we ran through and did about 50 different fights, combining different things: W tapping versus default, block hitting versus default, hybrid, which is both versus default, W tapping versus block hitting, hybrid versus block hitting or W tapping. And basically what it came out to was W tapping and block hitting when versing a default player usually gave you about the same advantage of 6 to 9 soup advantage over the other person. Now, hybrid, which is using both, gave you a 9 to 12 advantage over the other person who was using default. So using both W tapping and block hitting simultaneously while fighting someone is going to give you a larger advantage over the other person, but it's only going to be about 3 or so soups more than just using W tapping or block hitting. Now, if you're fighting someone who is using W tapping or block hitting against you, or both, basically W tapping versus block hitting, W tapping ends up winning that fight with around a 0 to 2 soup advantage. And hybrid versus just W tapping alone, or hybrid versus block hitting, also was a 0 to 2 soup advantage. So the advantage of W tapping and block hitting against somebody who is also W tapping or block hitting is really, really small, but it's significant against someone who is not doing block hitting or W tapping. So at the end of the day, if you can only learn or do one technique, you're gonna want to try and learn W tapping, because that is still gonna give you an edge against default players and people who are block hitting. And the only person who's going to have an edge on you really is someone who is using both. Now, as to why W tapping has an edge over block hitting players, but it doesn't really have a significant edge compared to block hitting versus default players, I think that might have to do with the fact that when you W tap, you get those combos. And even though the person who's block hitting is taking less damage, I think the fact that they're blocking and it's sort of slowing their inertia down is preventing them from getting as many combos or blocking the combos as much as someone who has that W tap advantage. So I found that interesting that when compared to a default player, block hitting and W tapping did about the same level of advantage, but when compared to each other, W tapping still had a slight edge over block hitting. Really weird, but kind of interesting at the same time. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this really quick video. There is a giveaway in the description. If you want to enter, all you got to do is leave a comment. If you want to check out this server, it's munchiemc.com or kitpvp.us. I think you'll have a lot of fun. And that's pretty much it. Anything you want to say here, O'Brien? Just kidding. Don't care.
Actually better than me.
Nope, don't care. Whoa, wait, what'd you just say? I am better than you.
VBH isn't actually better than
I am. Okay, that's it. 1v1. Winner. Winner gets all the cupcakes. Okay, here we go.